Stop! But the dude was threatening to kill himself, threatening to kill us.
Oh, this goes right to my shaft.
A group of friends was spending the day by a river in northern Australia, swinging from ropes, swimming around, and soaking in the sun. It was one of those carefree times you hope you'll never forget. What none of them knew, though, was that they weren't alone in the water, and that hidden danger, As one of the guys jumped into the river, the camera caught something terrifying. A huge crocodile shot up from below, charging straight at him. Somehow, and it's not exactly clear how he got away without a scratch. The croc either misjudged or swerved off at the last moment. Still, how close it came is absolutely chilling. Against all odds, he made it out. And the video says it all. This wasn't just a close call, it was a razor-thin line between excitement and disaster. No one knows for sure why the crocodile didn't strike. Maybe the splash confused it, or maybe it went for the camera, mistaking it for prey. Either way, this kind of outcome is rare. Most run-ins like this don't end so well. It makes you think, how often do people swim in those rivers without realizing what's right below them? And next time, will they be just as fortunate? Brant is a well-known YouTuber recognized for creating high-quality fishing videos, crisp visuals, strong storytelling, and consistently captivating footage. In this episode, he visits a pond with his friend Ron, who says he has exclusive rights to fish on the property. Rumors suggested the area held some giant bass, so expectations were high for an exciting day.
So we are all White Castled out. We're headed right now to apparently a big trophy bass lake.
That's what I'm told.
But we're headed right now. I expect to see at least a 7-pounder.
I hope so. My PB bass is only 2 pounds, so anything over that, and I'm thrilled.
Let's go rock and roll.
So this is lake number 1 right here, folks. Oh, good gosh, there's fish already taking off from the bank right there. Now, this is supposedly a trophy bass lake. There's 2 different lakes we get to fish. We're gonna start right here and just see what happens. And then we're gonna go over the hill right there to the next one. And hey, I'm wasting time, man.
They arrived eager and started at the first of 2 private lakes. Right away, the outlook was good fish were active. And within minutes, Brant landed one on an early cast. It wasn't huge, but it was a promising start.
Yes, there he is. First fish, second cast, and he's not a big one. He's not a big one. Ron's yelling at me. Ron's tangled up there, and I'm like trying to get him to come down here and fish. That's a little guy. We're not going for little guys.
As they continued casting and working around the water, things suddenly shifted.
What are you doing out there? What's going on out there?
Guys, there's somebody yelling at us from that house up there. We have permission to be here.
Hey, you don't have no permission to be here?
Ron, dude, this guy's literally yelling at me for fishing here. Dude, we're with Ron.
Gary, it's me. Stop.
Holy dude,
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Gary,
What in the world?
dude, calm down.
Hey, Ron.
I didn't know it was you. We've been having some problems out here with people coming out here. We're not here to hurt nobody. We're just trying to scare people off. We've had stuff missing around here.
I totally understand that. I'm more mad at Ron because Ron said he had permission.
I do have permission.
Yeah.
Did you not know I was in town? Or
I didn't know. You call me before you come.
All right, cool, man. What's your name?
Gary.
Gary. All right,
sir.
Gary, listen, I've owned land, I've owned property. I understand. I completely understand, but I'm like a little freaked out right now.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, Ron's got permission all the time. As long as you don't.
I don't even know if I can fish in here anymore, dude. I have never had anything like that happen to me in my entire life, especially when you actually have permission to fish somewhere. And I get it, but holy cow, dude.
How are you so calm?
I'm not like necessarily calm, but it's just like I get it. I understand. Like if I own land like this and people were trying to steal and stuff, I would probably be a little like I get.
A voice shouted from a nearby house, accusing them of trespassing. A tense confrontation followed. The man, not recognizing them at first, demanded to know who they were. Ron attempted to calm the situation, explaining that he had long-standing permission to fish there. After a brief moment of confusion, the man, someone Ron actually knew, realized it was all a misunderstanding. It turned out there had been recent incidents on the property involving unknown visitors and missing items. Even with permission, the encounter left Brant unsettled. He later admitted it was one of the most surprising and uncomfortable experiences he'd had while fishing, especially because they were legally allowed to be there. The situation shows that permission alone isn't always enough on private land. Without clear communication, confusion can escalate fast. Landowners, particularly those dealing with theft or trespassers, often respond with suspicion or even hostility. It begs the question, how many similar incidents happen that never make it on camera? And if something like this occurs again, would it resolve as easily, or could it end far worse? Alex is a creator known for his peaceful fishing content, calm waters, soothing moments, and the occasional exciting catch. His channel focuses on relaxing in nature. But one recent trip didn't go according to plan.
All right, boys and girls. First thing I'm gonna do is go talk to this guy right up here in this kayak and see if it's this guy's rod, and then we're gonna focus on catching fish. Water's like 2 foot down. It's chilly. Oh, this is a up mess right here. Stay pinned, buddy. He's in. Woo! Anyway, what was I saying? I don't even know. We got a fish in the boat. Whew. There's one.
It started like any other day on the river. He and a friend were kayaking, enjoying the quiet, and casting lines hoping for something impressive. After a few hours and a couple of catches with the sun starting to set, they decided to paddle back toward the boat ramp. As they neared the dock, something unusual caught their attention. A man was lying partly submerged near the water's edge, right by the ramp. The moment he saw them, he jumped up and began acting erratically, pacing around, barking like a dog, and groaning as if in distress. Alex immediately sensed something was wrong.
How you doing, bub? No, I'm good, man. I'll ease her up in here. Always got a gun on me. I ain't gonna shoot you. I ain't gonna shoot you. You don't give me any reason to, I ain't gonna do it. That's what I've heard.
But since the ramp was their only exit, they carefully approached. The man started ranting, making alarming comments about weapons and death. His behavior escalated quickly. Even as Alex and his friend tried to keep their distance, he got closer, talking about wanting to die and making vague threats. At one point, he even hinted he might hurt them.
You ain't playing dog. Wild and damn dog. I wish dogs would treat you like, you know, shit like you do.
It was clear this wasn't just someone having a rough day. This was a volatile, potentially dangerous situation. Realizing the risk, they called the police.
I'm gonna call 911. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to report a guy. I'm at Holston River Park. He seems to be high, and he's threatening to kill himself and threatening to kill others, and walking around down here on the boat ramp making a bunch of crazy noises and stuff, and waiting on my wife to show up so that we can go get my car, because I did a river float, and I've already had to tell him to back away several times, and he's saying he wants to kill himself and stuff. We pulled up to the boat ramp where we were going to pull out and to meet Bethany so that we could get the kayaks loaded up, and there was a dude laying on the boat ramp high as a kite, and I don't know how much of it that I got on camera, if any of it at all. I know I got the call to the cops on camera, but the dude was threatening to kill himself, threatening to kill us, you know, just threatening to harm himself, and then he ended up getting in the water, and just wasn't a good situation. You know, he was high on something, obviously. He was obviously putting himself in danger, didn't want him to put me in danger or put me in a bad situation, so I ended up giving the cops a call, and they have showed up. I'm heading back that way actually right now to load the kayaks up, and Jacob said that the cops have showed up and that the guy jumped in the water and is now like running from them in the water, swimming away from them, and is like floating down the river because the current is so strong. I mean, there's, you know, 3-4 miles an hour current, and so this dude's high and he's in the water and he is floating away. So I don't know, I'm gonna get back down here, I'm gonna load up my kayaks and just get out of the...
When officers arrived, the man fled not on foot, but by diving into the river and letting the current carry him away. Encounters like this are especially unpredictable because of the unstable mental state involved. When someone appears high and starts talking about weapons or death, they're no longer thinking clearly. That unpredictability can become dangerous in seconds. Keeping their distance, staying calm, and calling authorities was absolutely the right decision. It raises unsettling questions. What if they hadn't shown up when they did? Or worse, what if the man had actually been armed? Moments like this remind us how quickly a peaceful day outdoors can spiral into something far more serious.
Yeah, I arrived just as Ben was being dragged out of the water. Yeah, pretty frantic scenes. Pretty heroic by the guys that actually stayed in the water to grab him. And a few guys were on the beach that actually did paddle out to help as well.
The sun dipped low over the waves at Geary's, a well-known surf spot just south of Perth. For 29-year-old Ben Gehring, it was supposed to be another calm afternoon in the water. Just him, his board, and the steady rhythm of the sea. From the beach, conditions looked perfect. Warm sunlight, light winds, and smooth rolling swells. But beneath the surface, something powerful was lurking, setting the stage for one of the most devastating tragedies to ever hit the local surfing community. Ben wasn't a thrill-seeker chasing danger. Friends described him as careful and level-headed. A fly-in, fly-out worker, he stayed fit, took precautions, and always paid attention to shark alerts. Locals said he never would have paddled out if he'd known a shark had been seen earlier that day near Pyramids Beach, less than 2 kilometers away. Minutes after entering the water around 4 p.m., disaster struck. Something massive slammed into him with terrifying force. The calm ocean erupted into chaos as nearby surfers rushed to help. They pulled Ben onto a board and frantically tried to get him to shore. Despite their efforts, his injuries were critical. Paramedics first rushed him to Peel Health Campus, then airlifted him to Royal Perth Hospital. For 3 days, doctors fought to save his life. His fiancée Jasmine stayed by his side the entire time. Just days before Ben had learned he was going to be a father, news that had filled him with happiness and pride. But the sea had already claimed too much. On the night of May 6, 2016, Ben Gehring died in the ICU. The loss devastated the surf community. Friends and fellow surfers remembered him as calm, kind, and deeply devoted to both family and the ocean. For them, this wasn't just another statistic in Australia's long history of shark incidents, it was heartbreakingly personal. Authorities responded by deploying drumlines in the area. Within days, a 4.2-meter great white shark was caught. Officials declared it a hazard under local policy, but the move quickly became controversial. Critics argued there was no proof it was the same shark, questioning whether the decision was more about public reassurance than science. His family later released a statement thanking the surfers who risked their lives to help the doctors and nurses who did everything they could, and the community for its overwhelming support during their darkest days. In the days that followed, surfers returned to the water. Some placed flowers on the waves. Others sat silently beyond the break, paying tribute to his memory. Fear lingered, but so did the ocean's pull, a reminder that the sea never truly releases those it takes. For those who knew him, Ben wasn't just gone. His presence lived on in every wave, every paddle out, and every story shared among friends. The tragedy also reignited an old debate in Western Australia. How do we balance the freedom of the ocean with the risks it holds? Some say shark control is essential for safety, while others believe it only offers a false sense of security. Ben's story is remembered with love, courage, and sorrow, but it leaves a difficult question behind: should humans keep venturing into waters known to belong to sharks? Or is it time to reconsider the risks we're willing to face for the waves we love? DT Fishing is a channel built around one man's passion for the outdoors. From rivers to creeks, he spends countless days and nights pursuing impressive catches, always bringing viewers along for the experience. Most of his videos capture the peaceful rhythm of fishing, but every so often, nature reminds you just how fast tranquility can spiral into danger. On this trip, DT and his partner ventured to a picturesque creek in search of smallmouth bass.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video with DT Fishing. Callie, Kellen, and I are on the creek hunting some smallmouth bass. Stick with it, stay tuned. Let's go catch some fish. Best.
There we go. Yeah. Smallmouth on the fly. Look at that.
The day was beautiful, the fishing consistent, and everything felt ideal. But as they moved farther downstream, the mood shifted. From the thick brush,
Yep, scream on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey! Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here! It pinned its ears back. It was about to charge. Okay, let's go this way.
I literally saw the video and I was like, that's so cute. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, here it comes. Get out of here! Go! Okay, let's get up on this hill right here. Yeah, it's got its ears pinned. Yeah. Just went through stinging nettle.
Well, guys, we just had quite the scary experience. We're up on the hillside right now. Callie came around the corner and there was a baby moose like right next to her. And she came running back and that big moose chased her. You can see her down there shaking. So we were in the trees and we were like, what, 5 yards from it? And it started coming towards us and pinned its ears down. And so we yelled and it whipped around, but it followed us downstream for a good 100 yards. So
Baby was cute though.
we're gonna get back safe.
a massive figure appeared, a moose, and not just any moose, but a protective mother guarding her calf. Suddenly, things turned hazardous. The animal pinned its ears back, a clear sign of aggression, and began advancing toward them. The two scrambled up a hill, trying to distance themselves from the creek as the moose followed closely. For nearly 100 yards, it trailed them, ensuring they were leaving its territory. Breathless and rattled, they finally reached safety, realizing how dangerously close the encounter had been. While predators like bears and mountain lions are often considered the biggest threat in the wild, moose are responsible for far more injuries each year. A mother with a calf is among the most dangerous animals you can meet, and this footage proves how quickly a peaceful day outdoors can become life-threatening. In the end, they escaped unharmed, but one chilling thought lingered. If the moose hadn't stopped pursuing them, would they have escaped in time? And what might have happened if they had stumbled just a few steps closer? Fishing is often seen as a peaceful escape, a quiet break where the only disturbances are gentle ripples on the surface. But solitude in nature isn't always guaranteed. Sometimes, it's not what you catch that unsettles you, but the people you encounter. On his self-titled YouTube channel, angler Nicholas Paparo documents his passion for fishing, filming his trips to rivers and lakes while showcasing both the patience of the wait and the thrill of the catch. On this particular day, everything started out like any other. The weather was calm, the fish were active.
Another one. Oh, that's a big largemouth.
Can I come over by you?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Not a huge one, but it's a nice bass. Came unhooked by himself.
And Nicholas landed a healthy largemouth bass, releasing it back into the water with satisfaction. His camera kept rolling, capturing what looked like another successful outing. Then, without warning, the atmosphere shifted. A stranger appeared along the bank, walking directly toward Nicholas.
You got a GoPro? You YouTube?
Yeah.
What's your YouTube channel so I can watch you?
Yeah.
At first, their conversation seemed harmless small talk about gear lures and fishing in general. But the man quickly focused on Nicholas's camera, asking questions about his channel and his online identity. What followed was a strangely persistent interaction.
Here, this is what I'm using. You can have one if you want.
Oh, I got one just like that. Look, I got this right here. Is that too big or is it the same size?
It's about the same size.
Yeah.
You want one of these?
Yeah, I'll take one of those.
You can have this one too if you want it. It's the one that's working.
I'll let you keep that one.
The stranger asked about his equipment, accepted a lure, and then mentioned one of Nicholas's previous videos in detail, proof that he had already watched his content and knew more than what was happening that day.
Thank you, bro.
Of course, man. Have a good one.
Nice meeting you, bro. I'm gonna subscribe to you. I'm gonna log into my YouTube tonight.
Bet. Appreciate it, man. Have a good.
The encounter ended politely, with the man promising to follow his channel before walking away. Yet the unease lingered. The stranger now knew Nicholas's name, his favorite fishing spots, and his online presence. What had started as a casual conversation now carried a subtle, unsettling undertone. For outdoor creators, moments like this highlight a growing risk, mixing real-world isolation with public visibility. Was this man just a genuine fan who happened to find Nicholas by chance, or was there a deeper motive behind his probing questions and familiarity? Even if his intentions were harmless, the situation was deeply unsettling, because once your privacy is compromised in remote places, the feeling of safety becomes difficult to reclaim. The man disappeared into the fading light, leaving only questions behind. Was it simply a random meeting between two fishermen, or a reminder that in the wilderness, the most unpredictable encounters sometimes don't come from nature at all?